Sember what she wanna hate, of course. Sember of Team Great Britain.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. You are tuned in with Cindy and John, my husband. We are going to be doing a video today discussing
how great I am.
How amazing he is. How my husband has helped prepare me for the Olympics. So for those of you who do not know, I recently qualified for my 3rd Olympic Games, and I've been sharing a series on here about my preparation, my training, my eating, everything I've been doing in order to get to this point. And part of that training has been my husband's help. So he actually has incorporated different tools that have been very useful and just helped me with my progression. So today we're gonna be sharing about that. You excited?
I'm excited.
All right, make sure to go back and watch the other videos on my series as well. So let's get into it. What is one thing that you have done to help me for my preparations?
Married you and kept you away from some of the foods that you like the most.
He's been my accountability partner when it comes to eating. That is one big thing for sure.
That's why we gotta keep you away from grocery shopping.
Now I can buy a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't be eating, but it's nice to have accountability. So that's one thing to do if you want to improve in your life.
Have an account buddy.
Accountability, yep.
So I've been doing rapid product development for over 10 years now. And so I can use that skill to identify opportunities for things that could help Cindy train better, ways that we can give her feedback in more real time, and discussing those things with a coach. Focus on what's the most important thing, and then set up a plan for what the first feature is, second feature, and then kind of work all that in with how quickly it can be achieved and how important it is. And then because we have a limited amount of time, making all those things come together as quickly as possible.
So he's a very tech savvy person, and he really pays attention to the numbers, as you can imagine, being an engineer. And so he is able to take obviously my training and everything I'm doing and putting in with the tools that he creates, and I'm able to see feedback very quickly at training, which helps me see, oh, that rep wasn't as good, or that round needs to be a little faster. So that's been really, really helpful.
Yeah, the first training tool that we really built was the block, the modified block system, which has a pressure pad on it so it can collect the reaction time of the athlete.
Hey you guys, so I just finished my workout. I am so tired, but I want to share with you guys something that's been really helpful. So these pair of blocks were actually modified by my husband, and he added this starting timer. It allows me to get my reaction time, which has been so helpful just to see how fast I'm getting off of the blocks.
After you press start, the blocks has a starting horn on it, and it collects time until the athlete actually leaves the blocks. And so every time she does a start at practice, she can get a time for how long that is.
Yeah, it's very similar to how they have it at track meets. So for those of you who don't know, at track meets they actually have that similar system. I don't know if it's the exact way you made it.
It's a little bit different.
Okay, but in able to, I guess, know if an athlete false starts or reacts too quick, they have to know that by the numbers. So they use that similar concept. And so having that in a training environment is so helpful, because my start is something I'm working on, and I'm trying to have a better reaction every time I run. And so yeah, that was just really helpful. He discussed it with my coach, like different things that could be potentially helpful, and that's what he created. And for those of you who don't know, he made a whole video on this, explaining a little bit more on this. I will attach it up here, one of these two, and I'll let you guys go watch that. But yeah, he definitely has a little bit more explanation on what he did.
Yep, and the next step in that product, after we discussed it and started working on it, was a time gate.
So this right here will get my 15-meter touchdown, and I can see what my time looks like.
And originally it was supposed to be 10 meters to give you a good idea of the drive phase after the start, because the time gate is supposed to give you the time from after the athlete leaves the blocks until they hit that time.
Yeah, so the first hurdle touchdown, essentially.
Well, initially it was supposed to be 10 meters, and then after seeing it, coach moved it to 15 to get the first hurdle touchdown.
It's been nice to be able to have that 10 meters, but also have that ability to move it, because he made it that way. And he just also, you can change it. Like, it's not just like a fixed thing. Like, you can have different things, because even with the blocks, you had done a round 1 with it, and it was a little bit inconvenient for me to carry to practice. And then he went back and changed it, and it was so much better.
Yeah, the first version didn't include any wireless capability whatsoever, and so it had what'd you call it, a tail?
Yeah, it literally had a tail.
It had a tail, and so the person starting would have to be within that distance of the blocks. So it makes it more difficult to see what's going on with the athlete, even though it was kind of long. And then that whole wire had to be wound back up at the end of every practice.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I was like, this is gonna make a job for me every time I come out to the track.
Yeah, so it was not a convenient customer experience having to have that attached. So I created the next version, had a wireless remote that would allow you to do all that separately, and we also added the set noise so that you could call, set, and start remotely with an actual wireless remote. Removed the tail, but I kept the button on the actual box so that if you forgot the remote, like I did one time when we went to practice,
you can just press
you could still press the button. Yeah, exactly, and could still start the athlete, and it was still useful without the remote because stuff happens, people forget things.
Yeah, so that's been really useful. Another thing that John has been able to do, so we have been working on my first few hurdles, and in order to get faster you have to be really aggressive and you need to attack, and obviously hurdlers can have issues with hitting hurdles and all that good stuff, so he thought of an idea of creating a flimsy hurdle, and it essentially falls apart if I hit it, which obviously that's not the goal. You guys can see this hurdle is purple right here, and that also helps me to get off the hurdle really quickly. It's really easy and flimsy because I like to be aggressive, and let me show you real quick what it does. Super flimsy.
Athletes have gotten hurt getting tangled up with hurdles in practice, and
it's still the same height.
Definitely not the same time. Yeah, it's the same height. The big difference is intentionally making out of lighter materials so that there's less mass, so that if you contact it, it has less opportunity to hurt you. What we were trying to do was take away the "it could hurt you" part of it, by making it out of very light materials and then putting it together, attaching it together with magnets. But it's a lot safer. Yeah. So it's kind of like a safe training device.
Yeah, and it's super portable too. So we actually can take it apart and then put it in a suitcase and then take it to my car and then bring it back. So that's also really nice to be able to move it wherever we need it to go. Obviously we use it at the track pretty much only, but it is nice to have that ability.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter than a regular hurdle, and of course the regular hurdles are not designed to be compact. So it's actually transportable as well. And then I designed some of the lengths around being able to fit it into luggage.
Another thing John has been able to do is he comes to my meets, as you guys see in some videos. So he recently came to Manchester, my trials, and he was helping me out. So what'd you do there?
Lots of pictures.
Yeah, he gets content, he gets some starts. So my coach had to be at the USA trials and I was at Manchester's, and so it was hard to have somebody there to start me and all that stuff. So my husband gave me some starts and just
starts, video.
Yeah, sent it to my coach, all that stuff. So it's just really nice to have your support. That was really helpful for me. And yeah, be able to watch like in between my runs, my prelim, like, okay, let me see this real quick. And you even found the live stream so I can go back and watch real quick in between. So that was nice. So whenever at training, my husband is also able to get video for me. So that's been really helpful because I'm a very visual learner.
Yeah, something like every other practice or whatever.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to then take those videos and to break them down so that you can get timings off of certain things and you can measure things and basically post-process that video into seeing more. I could do it sort of live on site with a webcam and a camera, but with the sun and everything, I don't know how convenient or useful that is.
And in my last video with my trial, I talked about the freeze-dried food that we like to bring, and that has been super clutch. I never knew anything about freeze-dryer until I met this man, so that's also a way he's helped me. But yeah, the freeze dryer has been easy for us because we can cook the food at home and then we can bring it. So for instance, at Manchester, I had brought in a few meals, but I didn't have too many I brought. And I remember you brought like 2 more or something afterwards.
I brought some extra,
yeah, so he brought it when he traveled because he travels after I do. It's just been really helpful to have like that teamwork because it's a team and we're working together with it.
Yep. Absolutely. Those are some of the ways that I've been able to support her, and of course there's always more, but those are the ones that we really wanted to highlight today in our discussion.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to him because he's such an amazing guy, and I really do appreciate him. It's just really nice to have a husband who supports your dream and knows that this is a team and we work together, and yeah, I just love you. Thank you.
I love you too, babe.
Teamwork. So if you guys want to see more videos on the journey, I might have a few more videos coming up. The Olympics literally start in 2 weeks, so definitely, well, I don't know when you're gonna be seeing this video, but it'll be starting at this point probably. So whenever you see this.
Soon.
It's soon. So if you guys want to see more, subscribe, go back to the playlist and watch it. And then if you want to hear more technical details, go subscribe to John's channel as well. So we will see you guys in another video. Bye.